As as a claw would say, no one no one has the power to stop me. I am invincible. No one. And then Sweetie would say, well, we're gonna see about that, won't we? As she just leaves barking barrel or what's left of it, as she would decide that she needs to stop Claw and restore order to not only Adventure Bay, but to avenge those who have fallen in his senseless madness that he started. So yeah. So the first things first, as she would contact in as she would decide to think who can she contact or help in her mission to stop Claw, as she would just be looking around, rummaging, as she would find that a blueprint to an old castle, as she would say, this sounds interesting, as she would see that the castle or tower, yeah, the castle, or tower would basically look like this, and as as she would go into the tower, and there would be warning signs everywhere, as she would obviously ignore them, as she would find a suit of armor and perfectly fits her, as she says, what seems a bit weird, as she would hear screaming, as she would turn around and see Everest running from the dragon that is behind her, and Sweetie would say, what the hell? What kind of that looks bigger than the one Claw has, as Sweetie would say, hey, you there, as Everest would say, well, I have a name. Wouldn't Sweetie would say, well, I don't really care to use it at the moment. Why is there a big ass dragon in this fuck ass tower? And why is it so far away from Adventure Bay? As then as then as then Everest would say, well, this tower, well, I can't really explain right now since we're running away from a dragon, so I'll explain when we get out of the castle. As then Sweetie would say, oh, okay. So they would both find swords, and they would leave the dragon to a mountain of gold. Yes, a mountain of gold. Yes, mountain of gold. And then Sweetie would say, is this real gold? And then Heavyweight would say, no, it's all fake. And then Sweetie would say, God fucking damn it. And then Heavyweight would say, yeah, I know. I said the same thing. And after that, they would leave it to this, well, pile of gold. And they would hear the dragon open his mouth and shooting fire, which would basically insinuate the melted gold, and they would basically try to fight it with their swords, but the swords would have melted, and I'm gonna say that they both get hurtled. You're hurtled onto a wall, and that unlocks a secret entrance where where they find a sword, and this, well, sword has the Paw Patrol logo on it, and then Sweetie would say, what, why's there a sword here? And then Happiness would say, well, Ryder actually built the sword from the ashes of a dead dragon. And then Sweetie would say, are you being serious? And then Evers would say, no, I'm not. Like, he really built that from the dead ashes and bones of a dragon. And then Sweetie would say, oh, okay. And yeah, so Sweetie would pick up the sword as her as um as dragon armor would slowly form around her body, and she gets a small, like, tiara, and the suit of armor actually fits, and she says, wow, this is actually pretty nice and interesting. And after that, she comes in contact with a hollow projection of Ryder, and he says, whoever wields this sword, warrior or not, will have the powers, yeah, the powers of this dragon armor that I built. If for whatever reason this armor is activated, then the world is imperilled, and only one hero, our dog, can fix it. And that person is you, since you are the chosen one. You are here to about peace and prosperity. You are the light in the ever growing darkness. You are our champion. And then Sweetie would say, God fucking damn it, does he ever shut the fuck up? God. And then Heavyweight says, yeah, no, not really. And after that, the projection ends, and then Sweetie would say, well then, let's go save the world. And then everyone says, yeah, okay. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it off here.